Most parents would have stepped in by now. A toddler is trying to put on her shoes. She's struggling. The left one is on the wrong foot. She's been at it for 2 minutes. Her mother is right there, watching. And she says absolutely nothing. No, here, let me help. No, try the other foot. No, good job, sweetie. Just silence. Calm, intentional, deliberate silence. To most Western parents, this looks uncomfortable, maybe even unkind. But in Japan, this moment has a name. And what it does to a toddler's brain is something researchers are only beginning to fully understand. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see silence completely differently, and you're going to understand why some of the calmest, most focused, most self-sufficient children in the world are raised in homes where parents say less, not more. Let's start with what's actually happening in that room. In many Japanese homes, there's a quiet parenting habit that surprises foreign visitors every single time. Japanese mothers often avoid constant correction, nonstop praise, and excessive stimulation. Instead, they create moments of intentional silence, allowing toddlers to observe, think, and respond entirely on their own. Some parenting experts call this the silent game. Not a literal game with rules, more like a subtle, consistent method of building independence, focus, emotional control, and deep observation skills from an incredibly early age. And here's what makes it so fascinating. It starts before most parents even think about parenting strategies. It starts in the first year of life, long before the child can speak, long before they can explain what they're feeling. The training begins in the quiet. Now, I want you to imagine 2 scenes side by side. Scene 1. A toddler is struggling to stack blocks. They keep falling. In many Western homes, a parent might immediately step in. No, not like that. Try this way. Here, let me show you. Good job. The child gets the answer. The blocks get stacked. Everyone moves on. Scene 2. Same toddler, same falling blocks, but this time the parent watches quietly. The child tries again, fails again, adjusts, tries a different approach, fails differently, and then, slowly, imperfectly, figures something out. The outcome looks the same. The blocks are stacked. But what happened inside that child's brain in scene 2 is completely different. And that difference compounds over years in ways most parents never see coming. Here's the science behind why. When a child encounters a small challenge and an adult immediately solves it, the brain registers one thing: someone else handles this. But when the adult waits, when the child is left to sit in that productive discomfort just a little longer, the brain does something remarkable. It builds, it reaches, it creates new pathways. Developmental psychologists call this productive struggle, and it is one of the strongest predictors of cognitive flexibility, problem-solving ability, and long-term academic performance. Not IQ tests, not flashcards, not expensive toys. Productive struggle, the kind that only happens when an adult resists the urge to step in. Japanese parents have been practicing this instinctively for generations. They just never called it a strategy. But the silent game isn't only about problem solving. There are 4 specific things it builds in a toddler's brain, and each one matters more than most parents realize. The first is attention span. Modern children are constantly interrupted. A parent comments, a screen flashes, a toy makes noise, and every interruption resets the brain's focus clock. But a toddler who is allowed to sit quietly with a task, stacking, sorting, drawing, exploring, is practicing something rare: sustained, uninterrupted attention. 20 minutes of quiet concentration in a 2-year-old isn't boredom. It's deep cognitive training that most children in the modern world never get. The second is emotional regulation. When a toddler gets frustrated and a parent immediately rushes in to fix the feeling, "It's okay, don't cry, here you go," the child never learns to sit with discomfort. But when a parent pauses first, observes, and waits just a few seconds before responding, the child begins to develop something extraordinary: the ability to self-soothe. to breathe through frustration, to regulate from the inside rather than depending on someone else to regulate for them. This is the neurological foundation of emotional intelligence, and it is built in moments of quiet, not in moments of rescue. The third is confidence, and this one is important. There are two kinds of confidence. The kind that comes from being told "amazing job" every 5 minutes, and the kind that comes from actually doing something hard. Japanese parenting builds the second kind. When a child figures something out independently, when no one stepped in, no one praised them through it, no one solved it for them, they carry that experience differently. It becomes part of how they see themselves. Not "I'm good because someone told me so," but "I can do hard things because I've done them." That is a completely different foundation to build a child on. The fourth is observation, and this is where Japanese culture adds something the West rarely talks about. Japanese culture has a concept called ma. Written as a single character, it means the meaningful space between things. This idea appears everywhere in Japan, in architecture, in music, in conversation. Silence is not awkward in Japanese culture. It is useful, it is intentional, it holds meaning. In parenting, ma creates mental space for a child to think, observe, imagine, and process. When a parent fills every moment with commentary, instruction, and praise, there is no ma. There is no space for the child's own mind to move. But when a parent steps back and allows silence to exist, the child's brain fills that space, and what it builds there is something no toy, no app, and no curriculum can replicate. Now, here's where most parents get this wrong. The silent game is not about ignoring your child. It is not about being cold, withholding, or emotionally unavailable. Japanese mothers who practice this are deeply present. They are watching closely. They are emotionally attuned. They are simply verbally restrained. There is a difference between a parent who is absent and a parent who is quietly present. The child feels both, and the child's nervous system responds to both very differently. So, how do you actually try this? You don't need to overhaul your entire parenting approach. You just need to experiment with small moments of restraint. Next time your toddler is struggling with something safe, wait 10 seconds before stepping in. Just 10. Observe before correcting. Reduce the running commentary. Let them sit in the frustration just a little longer than feels comfortable for you. And instead of "amazing job" when they finally get it, try something quieter. "You figured it out." 2 words, no fanfare, just acknowledgement. The psychological difference between those two responses is enormous. One tells the child they performed well for you. The other tells the child they are capable on their own. Small shift, completely different message. Here's the truth that Japanese parenting keeps returning to. Children are more capable than adults tend to believe, and when toddlers are given space, patience, and quiet observation instead of constant intervention, they frequently rise to meet those expectations in ways that genuinely surprise the adults around them. The silent game is not a technique, it is a philosophy, a deep trust in the child's own capacity to grow. Not because someone pushed them, but because someone stepped back and let them. Sometimes the most powerful thing a parent can do is nothing at all. If this video made you think differently about how you show up for your child, share it with another parent who needs to hear it. And if you want more on the hidden psychology behind the world's most effective parenting cultures, subscribe. There's a lot more coming. See you in the next one.